Good afternoon. Welcome. I'm Tom Richmond, President of the Academic Senate, and today we're going to renew a university tradition that perhaps fell out of favor occasionally. And in thinking about that, I realized about 51 weeks ago there was a very loud cheer in Rice-Eccles Stadium, and it wasn't the football team. But it was the announcement of President Ruth Watkins being selected as the 16th president of the university. And I enjoyed that ceremony, and I felt a lot of warmth and excitement for what was to come after that selection. And that's what we're here about this afternoon, to interact and think about both a little bit about the past, but mostly I think about the future. And I believe President Watkins will invite your comments and interactions. We have some of our student interns with microphones that will help out. Join me in welcoming President Ruth Watkins.
Thank you so much. So I think my mic is on. How is the sound? Can you hear? Are we all right? Okay, good. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time to be part of this discussion today. I appreciate it so much. And I'm looking around this room, seeing so many familiar faces of our faculty, staff, students. And I particularly want to extend a warm welcome to our community members and our donors and supporters who have taken the time to join us today. So thank you so much. Thank you all. Yes. So as we start this conversation, this is an opportunity for us today to think about where the university is, what are some of the big accomplishments and points of pride of the past year, and I'm going to ask you that, so that's a little priming. You can start to just brainstorm. And also, if we were having this conversation 3 years from now, what do you hope we can say then are our big achievements and accomplishments? So where we want to go the next 3. And I want to say there's so many people in this room who have been instrumental in the success and progress of the University of Utah over the past year. So you are all part of this, and you are part of something great. You're part of a university that is moving forward in a very dynamic way. Up, up, up. We like to say Utah Rising. It's true. There are many things that we can look at and point to that are big points of pride. Now, this is a participatory day. So now everybody who's getting a little drowsy, now is your chance. Wake up or get called on, right? So Maddie's going to record for us. I'd love to have a quick bit of brainstorming. Things you're proud of in your university over the past year. Big accomplishments, big points of pride, little accomplishments that make a big difference. Things you're proud of. Barb. Our freshman class. Tell us about our freshman class. So how about that? The biggest freshman class, the most academically prepared, and the most diverse. And that's for several years in a row. That's a big deal. Good. What else? Oh, yes, Jeff. Yeah, say just a sentence about that, Jeff, because that's a big deal for the U. Kind of amazing that we haven't had that before now, but we're very glad we do have it now because it just started January 1st. Other big points of pride, things you're proud of. Yes, Sue. Oh, that's so nice of you, Sue. I promise I didn't prime that. That was very kind of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That is great. I appreciate it. What else? Yes. You always worry about that person that's going to say something like that, but it's okay. Yes, we had a pretty good year in football, right? Yeah, we won't go specifically to what he said. We'll just gloss right over that. Yeah, this might be being recorded. I think it might be, so it's all right. What else? Other things? Yeah, Dave. Our university accreditation, which cited the amazing progress made over the last 5 years. I'm so glad that you mentioned that because accreditation is something that happens every 7 years, but they have periodic reports along the way. The visit that we had this fall, I've been at this business for a long time. In fact, it's 30 years for me, which is kind of frightening. I have never seen an accreditation report as good as the one that we got this year. They praised the university's accomplishments. They acknowledged the work that has happened to measure student learning and student outcomes. Really positive. It's something you a little bit dread, and it went so well. I want to acknowledge everybody who had a hand in that, and there are a lot of people in this room who helped make that happen. Other big points of pride. Yeah, Katie.
Work that was done on getting out this vote and incredibly long lines at the Marriott Library.
Yeah.
The incredibly long lines of students waiting to vote from morning to night at the Marriott Library.
Such an amazing thing. Can we all have a round of applause for our student leaders who helped make that happen? Yeah. Student engagement in the democratic process. The University of Utah really led the way. That's a great thing. Other points of pride. Yeah, Jim.
With how we've handled the situation that happened last year, and we've moved on. And I think there's a feeling in the community that it's kind of a new day. And I think you can be commended for that, because we could have hung our heads for a long time. We've stepped out and said, we're okay, we can do this.
Thank you. And I think, whenever difficult things happen, tragedies or, difficult things that are less tragic, we're a big place. There's 80,000 people that come and go from our campus almost every day. Our task is to learn and improve and do what we can do, everything we can to move the institution forward. And I think that's a strong commitment by everyone that I work with. So thank you. A couple other things. Yes? Go Marriott Library, 50 years. Good job. Congratulations. Yeah. All right. A couple more big points of pride. I got to come over to this side for a minute. Chair Burton.
How about the amount of grants and achievements we've had? 500 million this year plus.
Yeah. This is remarkable. It is a huge accomplishment for the institution to have crossed the $500 million of annual research funding. The dollars matter because they enable research at a very big scale. The dollars themselves, of course, I don't want anybody to misunderstand that we measure people by their dollars. But without research support, there are many areas of the institution that cannot move forward at the scale that we want to move forward. So, and it is also a very stringent measure of peer review and how other institutions see us. So that's an important piece there as well, and that really has enabled work at the highest level. Yeah, Catherine.
Yes. In the world of diversity, we are relaunching disability studies. We've gathered it. It's being relaunched as critical disability studies in the School for Cultural and Social Transformation, and really on this campus, seeing disability as diversity. We are also poised for 3 new committees, I hope, to happen very soon, which will bring the praxis aligned with the academic side. And I'm very proud of that for this institution and for everybody who's been involved with that, many people involved.
Thank you for raising that. We know that we will be the best and strongest institution that we can be when everybody has a voice in the institution, when we are not systematically excluding talent, and when we are not including people with different abilities at the fullest level. We are leaving the university less than it could be. So it's great to see those efforts moving forward, and thank you for that. Marty's got one, and then we'll go to the back, and we'll come back, and then we better go on.
The Exceptional Educational Experience. We launched a year-long research about the students' experience and how they feel about it. Under the leadership of Amy Bergeson, we have a team of researchers who conducted more than 40 focus groups this fall, and in the spring, we'll talk to the campus about what we've heard.
I'm so glad Marty mentioned that, and that's going to come up a little bit in the slides. But we know our health science community has really led the way on understanding the patient experience and creating an exceptional patient experience. That has provided a fabulous roadmap for us to think about the educational experience and creating that same educational experience that is exceptional. And it always starts out by actually asking people about their experience, right? So we are asking our students, What makes an exceptional experience for you? Yeah, Gordon.
Dan wanted to make a comment.
I had to let Gordon butt in there.
I think
Yeah.
we're very proud of the way that we treat our patients and their families. I think that,
Yeah.
and that the patient experience is very important. We're coming off our best year ever as far as the scores coming in. We're creating access for them, opening up the new Sugar House, and then creating also the virtual visits and the way that can just open up the way that the patients can come not only to the university but around the region for Utah and beyond.
This group is very well primed because you're actually giving the whole slideshow, but it's so excellent.
And then
I
just,
believe it's
sorry.
top 10 patient quality experience ranking for 9 years in a row. The other 9 years in a row?
Only 9.
Okay, we got to get one more year for sure.
No,
Yeah.
and we're especially proud of being an accepted employer, an employer
Yeah.
that really pays
Yeah.
attention to our employees, ranked very high nationally.
Yeah.
Number 4, I think, healthcare in the country. So there you
That
go.
is quite important because this is a competitive environment for talent, right? And we see the U is doing well in competing. I want to go to the person back there who's had her hand up for a while. Another point of pride, and then we better carry on. a little bit.
Providing an environment where an amazing scientist like Toto Oliveira can work on amazing research with sea slugs and looks like it's poised to provide a non-opioid painkiller from that research.
Exceptional. I'm so glad you raised that example. So we can all be proud that research and discovery happens at this institution that truly changes people's lives, that improves the quality of life in so many different areas. Health and well-being, knowledge, arts, humanities, and it raises the quality of life and amplifies the human condition. So we're going to come back to some of those themes. You can store in your mind that when Maddie flips that whiteboard, we're going to think about 3 to 5 years from now and what we hope we're able to say about our big accomplishments and points of pride then. So I had a few that I wanted to highlight for you. You've actually hit on many of them already. This is a quick graph to look at where we've been over the last 5 years. 2013, 2018, 2023, where we're going. We'll start to think about that. 5 years ago, our graduation rate was 60%. Our graduation rate now is 70%. That is a big deal. Many institutions, that's a 20-year accomplishment. We did that in 5. That is great. That is truly changing people's lives. When you leave school without completing a degree, you are at risk for unemployment, for a greater likelihood of living in poverty. We are changing people's lives by focusing on the quality of the student experience and getting people through the degree they came for. Where will we be in 2023? You can think about that. Okay, we'll ponder. How about research dollars? This came up. Our Board of Trustees Chair, David Burton, raised this. 2013, $388 million of research funding. 2018, $515 of total research support. That's across all areas of the campus. That's a pretty good jump. Our Vice President for Research, Andy Weyrich, is going to be up in a minute to talk about how we think we've done that and what we hope we can do going forward. This is a slide to celebrate. 2 big indicators. We're a research university. We are also Utah's university, the university for Utah. So seeing graduation rate move that way, seeing the discoveries fostered that change and improve human life, that matters. How about our faculty? Our colleague in the back there mentioned a particular faculty member. This is a national index from a separate database that shows us how many of our faculty are winning major national and international awards and prizes. You'll also see that the pictures are our newest class of distinguished professors on this campus, people we're very proud of and the accomplishments that they've achieved. But to think about the last 6 years, that is an amazing trajectory. Those are annually the faculty on our campus who are being recognized at national and international levels, up, 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 up. And that's a pretty great accomplishment. So it says we're attracting great people to the University of Utah. They are succeeding in doing their work here. They are staying here, and they are earning the kind of national recognition that makes a difference. That's a good story. A major point of pride for the university. Okay, now you've heard it once, twice, and I just said it a few minutes ago. We are a national university. We are a flagship university. I think we're one of the best universities in the country for also not losing sight of our local population, of Utahns and the needs of Utahns. So I like to say that we're not just the University of Utah, we are the University, good job, for Utah. Of course we are. And the Driving Out Diabetes Initiative, supported by the Miller Family Foundation, is a really great example of this. It is the University for Utah in action. Service, clinical availability for people in communities, research that is addressing diabetes and how we prevent it and treat it more effectively, engagement with the community, and education. Very, very powerful example of the University for Utah in action, supported by our donor community making that happen. This is Hoku, right? Catherine, can you say Hoku's last name for me? Hokulani Aikau. I wasn't positive about the last name. She's a relatively new faculty member that has come to us and has helped us lead a very important initiative in Pacific Island studies. Utah has the largest population of Pacific Islanders in the continental United States, and this is an area that has not been sufficiently studied, nor have we recruited, served, and graduated as many students from Pacific Islander backgrounds as we should. Hoku and her colleagues are really leading the way in a Pacific Islander Studies initiative, and just received a very significant grant from the Andrew Mellon Foundation. We're very, very proud of this. This is the University for Utah in action. Okay, now I'm going to shift to another point of pride, and I got to step it up a little here. I'm going to keep you away from the research celebration. So another point of pride, the University of Utah offers incredible value. So we are making a difference, but while really effectively managing cost. What is value? Value is not cost. Cost is what you pay. Value is what you get for what you pay. And we know we do this very well. We do it well in health, and we do it well in education. So you can look at universities and health entities based on what's affordable, least affordable. You can also look at measures of best outcomes, worst outcomes. That would be kind of the quality axis. You can see in health, Utah has a wonderful accomplishment in that we have a very strong distinction of having very healthy population with good health outcomes at reasonable cost. We're doing as well as anyone else in the country on value in health. And the exciting thing is, the same is true in education. Utah has a highly educated population, a large population that earns a degree, and does so at reasonable cost. Our tuition is very, very, very low. When we think about our story, we need to be proud of the fact that we offer high value. Not that we're cheap, right? But we have quality and good outcomes in education and in health at a reasonable cost. Utah is doing this better than almost anybody else in the country, and we should be very proud of that, and we should fight to maintain that at the University of Utah. We're also beginning to get national recognition for this. This is this year's Wall Street Journal study. You like to be recognized in the Wall Street Journal as 11th in the country for value, and I really hope we crack the top 10 next year because that's a publication everybody reads. That's quality, that's outcomes, that's jobs for our graduates, and that's tuition cost. It's a good story. In addition, now we're going to talk about the exceptional experience. This was raised. So this is our members of our health community and our health leadership being recognized. Top 10 for quality 9 years in a row. Top 10 for quality 9 years in a row. Okay, the quiz. Who else in the country has been in the top 10 for 9 years in a row? Mayo. Is it only Mayo and us? Did you know that about your university? That's a pretty major point of pride for this institution. Our student success advocates are also winning that kind of national recognition. This is a group of people who are helping our students succeed, promoting retention and graduation rate in our students. They just won, I guess last year, a major national recognition for the work they have done in helping us retain students. This is Dinesh. Dinesh is a student at Lassonde Institute. Speaking of exceptional experiences, Dinesh is the program leader as a student for the MAKE program at Lassonde. Why did he want to come here and be part of it? Because he could lead in a diverse community, because he could be educated with students with lots of different backgrounds, because he could learn not just with people in his major, but people from all across the institution at Lassonde. A pretty good thing we offer at this institution. Now, in the exceptional experience, these are results from a recent national survey. The National Student Engagement Survey, that's not right though, because it comes out to NESE, but anyway. And what this survey told us, 90% of our first year students tell us that they're having an exceptional or very good experience. When we look at all of our peers, research universities in the country, that number is 86. The same thing is true when we look across, would you come again? Would you recommend it to somebody else to come back to the university? The same, we're outstripping our peers in terms of the student experience from their perception. That's good. That's the way we want it to be. I want to talk a little bit about 1U, and then I'm going to pass to Andy for a minute. 1U, the opportunity we have on this campus to think and act as one university in a comprehensive setting with a comprehensive research university and a full academic medical campus. Not very many other institutions have this. This is a path both for our past success and for our future success. This is Marissa Diener and Al Park, colleagues from pediatric otolaryngology and family and consumer studies that have worked together on hearing screening and early identification of hearing difficulties in young kids. That's 1U in action, making a difference in research. I can't remember what's coming next. Oh yes, more things about 1U in action. The Entertainment Arts and Engineering program is 1U in action every day. Education, certainly. Our students are working on some major societal issues. This is a game, a virtual reality experience, mildly alarming for me to have this experience because it was as if I was in the dentist chair when I was there. But it was really powerful in terms of education about oral health and diabetes and really thinking about ways to engage people in effective learning and behavior change. And this is engineering and software development and virtual reality and health all working together to make a difference. This was a very interesting EAE project that is a social work case visit to really help students learn about what it will be like to do a home visit and go through the training and learning about a home visit before they ever actually do that. So those are many examples of 1U in action. And now it's time for Andy, my colleague, Vice President Andy Weyrich, who's going to tell you a little bit about research points of pride.
Real quick, you guys have heard all the great stuff, and we are on this trajectory that looks like this. We're on an upward trajectory, and by every measurement you can see that. You heard about the grants. We're over 500 million. Sometimes we forget, but in our scholarly activity, our book chapters are up, our publications are up, our citations are up, our awards are up. So we are just doing fantastic across the university in these areas. And why? I think one of it is one of the major reasons is we're very diverse. We have great research, I think Ruth mentioned, across the arts and the humanities, to science and engineering, and to the biomedical space. We're very collaborative. We have interdisciplinary projects that cross not only departments but colleges across the university. And I'd say the other thing that sometimes we forget about is our staff are phenomenal, our students are phenomenal, and our faculty are phenomenal, our leaders are phenomenal, our donors are, and that allows us to really be great in research. So we put together a really quick video, and it really kind of talks a little bit about the history of the research that we have here. It gives some examples. We heard about one of them, Toto, who you'll see here in the short clip. And then it really talks about how diverse we are and eclectic at the end, and how we can be great as one university. I will say that I lobbied for a 50-minute video, and I lost. And so it's only 5 minutes, roughly, and I think it goes relatively fast. And I apologize if somebody's not in the video, but we do have a big slideshow at the Research Celebration. You're going to see all of our colleges represented of all the great things they do. But with that, maybe we can show the video.
All right, that's pretty special. We should have a bit of applause, I think. Okay, so even as we celebrate all the accomplishments that have happened over the past year and the years that preceded this, now let's think a minute. Fast forward 3 to 5 years from now. What do you hope we can achieve over this next phase? What's important to you as you look at the future of the university? So when we think about the state of the U, yes, it's great. Let's celebrate what we've done, and it's good to take a minute to take stock of that. what do you hope happens next? What do you see for the future? And Maddie, my trusty colleague, has flipped the board and she's ready. So a few big things that you see as priorities for the next 3 to 5 years for the University of Utah. When we're, whoever is leading the way, is having this conversation 3 years from now or 5 years from now, what do you want on that list? Did you have something, Joe? All right, here comes your mic. Yeah, say that one more time.
Graduation rates. We want to see those graduation rates continue up. That's what we do for a living.
That is what we do for a living. That is the difference we make for Utah. Let's keep those graduations going up, frankly, for the world. Way up there, Mitch, and then you come over here to Harriet.
I think to increase those graduation rates, really looking at our online education program and how we're going to expand it.
Yeah, because not everybody can move here to finish their degree, and not everybody can relocate. So let's think about how we can reach and have impact beyond that and use technology to help us with moving up graduation rates. Make use of technology in education. Yes, Harriet.
Not only to continue our increase in the diversity of our faculty, students, and staff through recruitment, but also through retention of the faculty and students and staff we've recruited.
Excellent. We'd like to see our retention rates of students, faculty, and staff go up because we'll be the best place we can be when we attract great people and they stay with us. Yeah, Leslie.
Continuing to understand that 1U is everything from the humanities and the fine arts and the social sciences at the core to all of the professional schools to the hard sciences and the entire health sciences campus. I just want to say I love the 1U concept, but it's not just the old upper campus, lower campus.
Yeah, absolutely. There's plenty of 1U opportunities that are with the people that are right next to you. And I think that's a great point. This is everybody in the university that has an opportunity to be part of 1U. Great point. I would also say, I forgot to mention this earlier, there are lots of functional units that thinking and acting like 1U, whether it's IT or marketing and communication, where there are big things that have happened when we think and act as one. And so it isn't just research. It isn't just education. It's the whole place. All right, Mitch, go ahead, and then we'll go to...
For me, it would mean creating an environment that is all-inclusive and very conducive to the development of human potential amongst faculty, staff, and students to the fullest.
So in the big vision, advancing human potential in all the ways we do that, with our students, with our faculty, with our staff, with our communities broadly. Great. All right, Katie. Mitch is coming. The poor folks in the back, they don't get a turn. Yeah.
Given all of our accomplishments and progress in diversity, I don't want us to lose focus on diversity and inclusion across racial, gender, ability, sexuality, et cetera.
It's a really good point. We've made huge strides in the diversity of our campus. That work is not done. We must press on in all the ways. I think in all fields, in all areas. Yeah, absolutely. What else do you hope? Yes?
I hope that we will continue to be able to give our students a quality education that they can immediately use for their careers and their quality of life. And I would say that even if one student takes one class, they've gained something.
Yeah. You want to think about quality in what we do, and we always want to be recognized and known for quality in what we deliver. We want 3 years from now, 5 years from now, to be proud of the quality we're offering and the indicators that help us see that. Very good. What else are your hopes? There we go. Up in the back. Oh, sorry, making somebody run with the mic. If you've got a really loud voice, just shout.
I'd just like to see us be a better and better community resource, not just to our students and our patients, but the people who are out there getting them to come to the university to see and to be able to use us better.
Yeah, it's a great point. And I can say there are several of us that traveled around the state this summer and to many communities in our state. Not all of the communities in the state of Utah have the same prosperity that ours does, the growth and prosperity. And it is quite important that when we think about our role as the University of Utah, we don't lose sight of our role as the university for Utah, because those communities, whether it's Vernal or Green River, or Jason could name a few of the other places that we were over the summer. They need us as much or more than the communities that's right here. So we want to be sure that we are providing that kind of support and access and engagement. I think Wanda had something. Yes.
Take a leadership and proactive role in air quality, which none of this, we can have all these other things, but if we're living in unhealthy air conditions, which we repeatedly are, then we're, So, and it would
There's
be just
enthusiasm for air quality.
Well, we have so much research potential on campus, but this is also an issue that will bring us together across campus. And when we talk about Utah for Utah, right, this is something it is for the state of Utah, but it's also an area where the university could take a leadership role internationally, too.
You're right. And it's a perfect 1U theme because we do need everybody, from the pulmonologist to the environmentalist to the human behavior, people that understand how we change behavior, because at the end of the day, that's really quite important in that issue. So as we think about how we might phrase it up there, we might think about that we are continuing research that is urgent, strategic in our area and beyond, and air quality could be the first at the top of that list. And I know we have people that are interested in that. What we haven't yet done, I don't think, is join forces to this extent we could to really have an impact at scale. So I'm looking at both of the senior vice presidents because they're nodding, they're in. And you are right, I think, Wanda, that's going to impact our ability to attract and retain faculty and staff and students, ultimately, if people are really repelled by an environment that is not healthy. So it has many impacts for the institution. Randy, did I see your hand up a while ago? I thought I did.
I think we can do even better than we have at translating our fundamental discoveries into technologies that have a positive impact on society.
Very good. So one of the things research universities do and need to do is make sure that the discoveries we make get into practice. It's technology transfer, it's all kinds of impact work in what we do. That is important. The University of Utah it should be on our points of pride. In 2017, right, was the #1 ranked university in the country for technology transfer and impact. That is a record we want to keep going. We want to see that happen. And there's so many good ideas across all kinds of sectors. I think social impact work, very important as well. So very good. Well, let me say just a couple things very quickly, and then we're going to celebrate research. Oops. It was a good video, Andy, but once we'll go. All right. So I just want to mention a couple of things that are on the horizon very, very quickly. And many of them you've had some foreshadowing on them. So when I think about what I hope happens over the next 5 years, Joe, right out of the gate, and I promise I didn't give people priming, said we have to keep graduation rates going. A flagship research university should have a higher graduation rate than 70%. Our work is not done. But we're going to need some creative tools. We've had a great group of people working on helping us develop a creative tool for helping students who are near the graduation finish line stay, enroll full-time, and finish their degrees. There's a group of investors helping us make this happen. It's called an income share agreement. It's an equity-based model. Our students are pretty averse to loans. This is a way for the university community and the investor community to say, we trust you, we have faith in you, we are supporting you, and then those students pay back for the next students in the lineup. Quite exciting, this income share program, and I'm really grateful to our donor community who's helping us make this happen. We have launched a fundraising campaign because all of these great things that we want to achieve do take resources. And our donors are instrumental in helping us make this happen. Our community is driving this forward. So this is Imagine New Heights. It's in action. We are working hard. It's happening. Fred, remind me what our goal is? $2 billion. And good thing we have Heidi Woodbury in the queue. Fred and Heidi both, and many other people in this room. The work matters, and people want to support it and be part of it, and we're excited about that. That's a big deal for the future. How about our footprint on our campus? Things up here, today is the day, first day of the semester, Everybody notices a lot more people, a lot more traffic, trouble parking. As we think about our future, I think the University of Utah, both in health and in education, needs to think about getting closer to the people, going where people are. The Southwest Valley growing very rapidly. Our partners, our colleagues in health sciences have developed, they're leading the way on extending community clinics north and south to make it easier for people to access healthcare in their community, more convenient. I think the same thing will happen in education. We have a partnership with Salt Lake Community College where we hope we can garner some support to start a physical footprint to make it easier for people in Harriman, in those areas where the population is growing very, very quickly. Large high schools being built. We need to be present in that area. And I know that our clinics and clinical services are doing the same thing as they think about their footprint and expansion. So as we go forward, today is a great day to celebrate everything that has been done, all that is ahead for the future, and all of you who have been part of this and helping make great things happen at your university. I think that the 1U theme has been so warmly embraced. There is so much potential for what can happen at the University of Utah. As we think about the State of the U, I'm just delighted to celebrate what we've done, but I am equally enthusiastic about the next phase. I think the future is boundless for this institution. And I really want to say one thing as we head off to celebrate research. Somebody was teasing me on the way in, and they said, you know, Ruth, what the State of the U means? The people that like you will clap when you talk, and the people that don't will go like this. So thank you for not doing that. I didn't get any bad body language from people if we think in a partisan way. And we will be more than we have been. And we will deliver more for the people of Utah, the nation, and the world when we think and act like one university. So thank you so much for being a part of it. I think Andy is jumping up to tell you where to go to celebrate research.
Right.
And I think there's treats ahead, right?
All right.
Good.
So thanks to all of you. We're always so busy. We're writing the next publication, putting in the next grant, teaching the next course, seeing the next patient, and we just don't take time to pause sometimes and celebrate. And I think on the research side, what we've realized just how fantastic all of you have been. And so we have a little bit of a research celebration as you go out. We have food and drink. There's also what I think is some nice swag with pins and bags. And then there's a video, or not a video, but a screen show of all the fantastic things that we've done on research. But I think most importantly, we just wanted to say thank you. Ruth and I want to say thanks to all the people who organized this, putting everything together, which was a tremendous amount of work. But thanks to all of you, all the staff, the faculty, the students, the donors that are here, all the people that are involved in everything at the U. Thanks to the state, thanks to the federal government for the funding that we've got. It's been a fantastic year. And it's really now time to celebrate. So with that, you go into the other room, and it's a really great time for us to just talk and collaborate and think about the next research thing that we're going to do. So thank you very much.